Brian emailed and said, I'm looking into getting my FFL03/COE. And I was wondering if you guys had a tutorial or class on how to properly fill everything out. Any information would be greatly appreciated. Well, Brian, we went one step further. We actually created a checklist. Now, for those who don't know, first let's talk about what an FFL03 is and what a COE is. So who wants to take FFL03?
I'll do it. So the FFL03, that's a curio and relic. So people who are into older firearms, historical things. So the curios and relics is an interesting kind of FFL category to get, and there's actually some great benefits to it. The curios and relics refers to the firearms that are special interest to collectors due to their age, historical significance, or unique characteristics. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, right? Get it right. And explosives issues a specific CNR license allowing holders to acquire and collect these firearms. There's some benefits to that. Some of the benefits are that they get to avoid those DROS fees in part, and they get discounts from online retailers at points. They also can get permits and other firearms that may not be allowed by the public in general. So there's some benefits to it. But it's different than a straight up sales FFL. So
doesn't it also allow you to get ammunition shipped to you? Isn't there kind of a benefit there? Okay.
Yep.
If you have an FFL03 and a COE, you can order ammunition directly to your house. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go through a gun shop.
Right.
So an FFL03, curios and relics, and then a COE is...
They're two separate things.
Dakota, you want to tell everybody what a COE is?
Yeah, so the COE is a certificate of eligibility, and basically you'd go through CFARS, which is the California Firearms Application Reporting System, and you can apply for a certificate of eligibility through them, and it's basically the Department of Justice saying that, yes, you've passed your background check, you're not prohibited from possessing or acquiring firearms. And it's essentially like a prerequisite license or a permit for anybody who's interested in becoming like an ammunition dealer or a firearms dealer, a DOJ certified instructor. So anybody who teaches CCW classes for California, they have to have their COE ahead of becoming a certified instructor through the Department of Justice. So it's just kind of like an initial background check process, and then they issue you a COE saying, yes, you are eligible to become an instructor in the future, or you're eligible to become an FFL in the future. And that COE application process is actually pretty quick and easy. You've got to wait for the background check, but the paperwork is very simple. What is something you've got to remember and put it in your calendar is that it doesn't last for very long. So it's only good for a year. And so I've got, renewal reminders in my phone's calendar so that I don't accidentally miss one. But it'll be valid for that 1 year, and then you can just continue renewing it. And it could be revoked in the future. The Department of Justice could decide later on that you are, prohibited from owning or possessing firearms, or they might make you go through an additional check. But in general, the COE is just going to allow you to do all the paperwork for the FFL and instructors and things like that a little bit easier.
Gun shops also require a COE for all employees, anybody handling firearms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did is we actually came up with a checklist. Now, we're not attorneys. It's not legal advice. We did our very best to compile what we believe are all the steps, but there may be additional steps you have to take. You can at least use this as a guide. It's our FFL03 and COE checklist, and it really only applies to the state of California. And it's four steps. Now they're kind of intricate steps, but they're basically 4 steps. The first is prepare. Want to make sure that you're at least 21, that you live in California, and that you understand what an FFL03 is. It's for basically collecting and not necessarily dealing. Step 2, you're going to actually apply for your FFL03, and we have a link to the form that's required. You're going to write a $30 check to the ATF, And then we actually have the address in West Virginia where you need to mail it. You mail a copy of the FFL application in your local CLEO, usually to your county sheriff. That's going to vary wherever you are, depending on where you are in California. And that's going to take about 2 months. And then step 3 is your COE. And as Dakota explained, you go through CFARS to get your COE. And there's a small fee that may vary. You have to get a live scan. It's basically a big background check. And then there's some step 4 is after your approval. You have to store everything in a safe place. You have to have a log for all your CNR firearms. And there are some steps that the ATF wants you to stay on top of. And then we actually even have some optional steps on how you can stay prepared and informed. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that DOR checklist, the FFL03 COE checklist, and we're going to put it up on the Gun Owners Radio website so that you can find it. And if you're interested in getting your FFL03, this is going to be a great checklist. It's going to be a nice guide to help you get started and get going. With that, you can start a collection, you can start getting ammo shipped to your house, and all kinds of cool stuff. So there you go. Thank you, Brian, for writing. I think that this is going to be a very cool, useful tool.
Yeah, that's an awesome checklist. Definitely makes it very easy and simple. I know sometimes the Department of Justice website and CFARS, they don't make it easy to figure this stuff out. So it's nice to have it all in one place.
Hey, thanks for watching Gun Owners Radio. I hope you loved that clip. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on social media. And check out our website at gunownersradio.com.